Hi, in our previous session, we were facing some issue, right? We were talking about supplier third-party relationship. Let me log in with this user. There is a simple checkbox we have missed. That's the reason we were not able to get third-party relationship. So let me log into the applications here. So the problem was we were trying to define supplier third-party relationship, right? So go back to Navigator, Procurement, and then go to suppliers. Now we would like to define the third party relationship between the two suppliers, right? So that's what we have, two suppliers here. Let's go to suppliers, manage suppliers, vendor, click search button. We have both the suppliers, right? Vendor B and vendor third party. So we would like to define the relationship between these two third party. But what the problem is, when we try to do it, we are not getting the supplier name, right? Even though if we do it setups at invoice options, we'll be cross-checking the third-party relationship setups at invoice options and payment options, right? After we do this setup here. So it's a standard question in the interviews also we'll be expecting. When we try to define third-party relationship, we are not getting the supplier. What could be the reason? Or what are the setups we are supposed to do it for third-party relationships? So generally, if we want to do the third-party relationship in account payables module, we are supposed to enable that in account payables, invoice options, choose your business unit, make sure that override third-party options checkbox is enabled, allow remit to supplier, override for third-party payment, so that when you try to create an invoice, it will allow you to change the third-party option. Same thing at the time of making the payments also, I would like to allow pay override for third-party payments. So we have done this both at invoice level as well as payment. Now, in the supplier, whenever you go for vendor B, this is our first supplier. When we go for vendor B here, let's go for edit. And here, whenever we are working with address, here, let's say vendor B address, enable this, edit. This checkbox we might have missed, remit to. This checkbox we have to make sure that enabled. This checkbox should be enabled. Okay. So here, third party supplier also we are supposed to cross check. This is our third party supplier, edit. Go to addresses, edit, and make sure that this checkbox is enabled, remit to. Okay. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to define a relationship here. So we have two suppliers, right? Here, so vendor B and vendor third party. Two suppliers we have, right? So I want to create an invoice for vendor B, but payment I want to do it for this third party. Let's go to your first vendor. Go to vendor B address, enable C address purpose. Sorry, we are in address. We have to go to site tab, go to the tabs sites and go to vendor B site, edit. Go to invoicing tab. Go to third party relationships, third party payment relationships here and choose this vendor third party. So earlier we were not getting, the reason is this. We are supposed to choose the address name here. So we might have missed remit to checkbox at address level. That might be the reason. Okay. Let's go for save and close. So in the interviews, they'll ask you, while defining the third party relationship, I'm not getting the another supplier in third party relationship LOV. What could be the reason? So we are supposed to cross check address has been enabled for this. For example, we have vendor A site. In vendor A site, this is associated with this address, right? And if I go for define the relationship here, third party, I'm going to get it here. because this address also has been enabled as a remit to address. So what is the address name here? Third party address here, right? So that we are going to get. In case if it is not enabled, then we will not get. This is how we can cross check third party payment setups and how we can go for resolve it. Thank you.